Yo, what's going on, fellow gamers? It's ya boy, Daily Tactics here, back with the final episode of the Dooku's Castle series that we had going on here. It was supposed to be a trilogy, but it went long, and I was okay with it because it's been really fun. Regardless, in the last battle, the Republic was ultimately defeated within Dooku's castle. However, they did a pretty deadly blow to Dooku's forces, weakening them quite a bit. So at this point, Dooku decided to retreat back outside the back door of the castle here and across this bridge into this abandoned old city, and he set up defenses here instead of setting up again within the castle. So essentially, the Republic managed to retreat back a little bit because Dooku retreated back, and they regathered their forces, got some reinforcements, and are setting up an assault across this bridge to try and apprehend Dooku once and for all. However, this is going to be it. If Dooku manages to defeat the Republic here, they will be forced off the planet because they won't have any more reinforcements coming in for them. However, if the Republic manages to win, then they will apprehend Dooku and take the planet here. So we have all three Jedi back at it again: Obi-Wan, Mace Windu, and Kit Fisto, Mr. Bug Eyes himself. We've got the 501st Legion. They've got two TX-130Ts spearheading the assault, and then over on the far right, over this way, we have Sev and Boss of Delta Squad, and on the far left, we have Scorch and Fixer, and then dead straight down the middle, we have the Dukester himself. So it should be a really cool battle. I'm really excited to get it going. Be sure to hit the like button. Let's try and get 1,000 likes in the first 24 hours. Subscribe if you haven't already, and comment down below what you'd like to see next. Did you enjoy the battle? Did you not? Without further ado, let's get it going. Hey guys, what's going on? Daily Tactics here, and real quick before this video begins, I wanted to let you know about instant gaming. It's something I've talked about quite often on the channel. It's an awesome place to go and get really good deals on video games that you are interested in. They have tons of deals on Star Wars games, like up to 90% off. Men of War Assault Squad 2 is super cheap on here. XCOM 2 is super cheap on here. It's totally legit. I use it myself. Link will be in the description below if you want to go and just peruse, or if you see something you like, feel free to use my link to get it for yourself. So yeah, thank you so much to Instant Gaming for sponsoring this video, and thank you to you guys for listening to this ad read, and I hope you enjoy the remainder of the video. All right, here we go, fellas. We're gonna press start, but we're gonna go in slow-mo for the first bit here, and we're gonna see how this all goes. TX-130Ts are, of course, sort of leading the charge here. They are the armor trying to sort of blitzkrieg forward and break the enemy lines right off the bat. However, droid AT fire is coming in pretty heartily. The TX-130Ts begin to fire their lasers into the droid lines, but they are getting hit very fiercely by the droids. They might end up going down pretty soon here, if we're being completely honest, by the just sheer amount of droid rocket fire that is hitting them. And boom, that one on the right does end up going down, but the one on the left is still wreaking some havoc on the droids' lines, and this is going to be instrumental for the rest of the battle here, because if they manage to kill a ton of droids, then the infantry will have a much easier time later on. And it does seem like they did. However, the last TX-130T does end up going down there. The droid rocket men managed to do away with them relatively quickly, but not before they took some serious losses. It was also a great distraction because now the clone infantry in the back is able to come in without too much incoming fire against them. Now, of course, the entire droid force is going to be firing against them, but for a little bit there, they did manage to, act on their own without any sort of resistance because the droids were fixated on the TX-130Ts. We can hear troopers just burning to death, screaming out loud. Oh my god. That's just brutal. The ASV mod, man, it never fails to to live up to its gory name. Clones up on these walls firing at the droids up on the walls over here. In fact, most of the droids up on the walls have gone down. The clones managed to dispatch the troopers that were sort of guarding the city immediately in the battle. However, the interior defenses are still very strong for the droids, so we'll see if the clones do actually manage to cross the bridge here, because there are just trenches upon trenches of droids just waiting for them on the other side. I think it's time to go normal speed here. full on normal speed, baby. Clone's actually getting a ton of fire out on these battle droids. The droid's not managing to get nearly as much out. I think these fellas back here are just not in range of the clone troopers quite yet, so they're not able to, you know, help out their boys up in the front who are, you know, doing their best to get fire out, but there's just not that many of them left after that TX-130T bum rush. But clones are still going down. We're seeing them burning on the bridge here, but they're getting a lot of fire out, so it's tit for tat. It is tit for tat, lads. I'm kind of considering doing another one of these series on the ASV mod because it makes a nice split in our sort of weekly upload schedule between regular Galaxy at War and ASV mod, because I know a lot of people are, you know, they have their preferences. Some people really like the ASV mod and would prefer it, while others would prefer the standard Galaxy at War mod. So I'm sort of considering, you know, doing one series of both, because like right now we have Clyde's Rebellion in standard Galaxy at War, and then we have the ASV mods Count Dooku's Castle. So, you know, maybe we start another series to keep that balance going between the two, and then of course we could do random battles beyond the series as well, in between and whatnot. I like the ASV mod, but I do have to say it is super unbalanced at the moment. Attackers have a way harder time than defenders, so, you know, I think I'm preferable to the standard Galaxy at War mod, but the ASV is pretty toit as well. Either way, the clone offensive across the bridge here is dwindling a little bit. They're taking some serious losses. The only Jedi I'm seeing right now is Mace Windu. I'm wondering what happened to Obi-Wan and Kit Fisto. Oh, I see a glowing green. Yep, Kit Fisto must have died over there. Oh, we actually have a clone flankeroonie over on the right over here. They came through this little gap and are now assaulting the city in a flanking manner. That's going to help out the dudes on the bridge a ton, because it's going to distract these droids on the interior, and then the bridge troopers can come through. This was all thanks to Scorch there. There he is leading the troopers forward. Beautiful flank here. Let's see if the same is happening on the left. It kind of is, but to a lesser degree. These guys haven't really managed to break in as much as the right flank has, but they're under the leadership of Boss over here, and then Sev should be somewhere around here too. I just don't see him at the moment. Oh yeah, he's a little bit lower down over that way. So these guys are taking on some droids who were just sort of patrolling the city streets over here and laid down to do some cover fire against these clones, and they are getting a serious number of kills. However, their Magna Guard brother did end up going down right there. There goes another one of those droids. So these clones are on the verge of a breakthrough, similar to the one on the flank over this way, which is just doing amazing. Dynamite, baby. I mean, look at this. These guys are cruising through the city streets right now, distracting the droids in the middle and taking them out too. That's a big thing. You know, you can distract and not get any kills, and you're still helpful, but if you're distracting while simultaneously getting kills and making progress, you are in the best of both worlds, baby. Oh my god, this lamp up here flying around actually ends up landing on that heavy gunner and kills him. That's a rough way to die, you know? Imagine dying in a battlefield, like, in a non-combatant way. That would be so depressing, you know? And it actually happens quite often, you know, in World War II and Vietnam and things like that. There were a ton of casualties for both sides due to things like heart attacks and, I mean, obviously disease ran rampant during World War I, especially, right in the outbreak of influenza in the second half, and also in the beginning. Soldiers were dropping like flies due to flu and, you know, general colds and things like that, because they were just not in a good environment to take care of themselves. Actually, I'm pretty sure the Ottoman Empire, the soldiers deserted in just crazy numbers because you had a better shot of living if you deserted due to people who didn't desert dying from the flu. Because you were more likely to catch the flu in the Ottoman Empire if you were in the army. So people would desert because they didn't want to die from the flu, which is crazy. It's insane. You know, the flu is not something to be reckoned with. So, you know, maybe some clones had a few heart attacks during this battle when they started seeing their brothers' guts flying everywhere. The center bridge battle right now is dying out. I mean, Mace Windu just took a gut shot and is down for the count right now. And there's very few clones left alive in the middle here. There's a lot of troopers actually just sort of hanging back, which isn't great. These guys need to sort of, you know, get up there and help out their brothers right now. I'd say the saving grace of the battle right now for the clone troopers is probably going to be the the troopers on the flanks. These guys have made the most progress in the battlefield, and they are the most stable force, so they might actually be able to win this thing for the clone trooper army. But I think the bridge battle is going to be a loser here. I think the droid infantry across the way is just too tightly defended in these trenches, and, you know, it's just not going to be plausible for the bridge defense, or sorry, the bridge assault. I cannot talk today. Oh my god. The bridge assault to defeat the bridge defense. I just don't think it's plausible right now. Clones are going to keep on attacking, but now it's almost like the clones on the bridge are the distractors for the clone troopers on the flanks right now. However, the clones on the flanks aren't really doing much in terms of pushing. Perhaps they're just taking a brief break right now. Oh, Scorch went down over here. I didn't even realize. Oh, poor buddy. Bye-bye, Scorch. R.I.P. Can we get an F in chat for Scorch, boys? Oh, Boss is down here, too. Can we just get an F in chat for Delta Squad? I'm not sure if any of their members are still alive. I imagine Sev might be, because he was hanging back a little bit. Yeah, Sev's still alive. Alright, I think it's time that we started squatting up the troopers and sort of started sending them in the general direction of the battle, because lots of them are sort of putzing about on the outskirts right now. I mean, look at all these fellas who are just doing absolutely nothing. So we'll start sending them forward, but not enough to like be giving them direct orders. We're just going to squat them up and then tell them to go in one general direction, and the rest is sort of up to them. So that's what we're doing here. Oh, Fixer's still alive. So we've got Fixer and Sev of Delta Squad still kicking. So the biggest amount of troopers are going to be on the flanks right now, and the middle bridge part is going to be distraction force. Not a lot going on over there. Can we consolidate the droids a little bit maybe, since we helped the clones out? Actually, the droids are still relatively consolidated. I'd say the droids really don't need any minor assistance to keep the battle going for them. They're in a very good spot, except for they did just get droid popped over here, killing a ton of droids amongst these ruins. If you guys didn't notice, and I'm sure many of you have, this is a Warhammer 40k map, actually. But I'd argue that you can kind of use Warhammer 40k maps for Star Wars. They have very similar vibes to them, I would argue. And I think it's not too far-fetched to, you know, have the Star Wars universe placed in 40k. Both are kind of steampunk futuristic, so I think it still looks pretty okay. Obviously, the universes aren't together in the slightest, but you know, for the sake of having a sci-fi map, it works, because the ASV mod has only like 4 or 5 Star Wars maps, so I often have to use the Warhammer 40k maps, or else we're in like World War II vanilla meta war maps, and neither are the greatest option. I'd obviously rather have just standard Star Wars maps being used, but when in doubt, just use a Warhammer 40k map. I think a lot of people don't notice either, which is great too, because, you know, it does just kind of look like a sci-fi city. So, it's not the worst thing ever, I have to say. It's not terrible. Except for sometimes you see, like, the Space Marine graves or whatever they're called. You guys know I don't know Warhammer lore in the slightest. Like, I am so bad with Warhammer lore. It's tough out here. It really do be like that sometimes. I was thinking maybe I should do a Star Wars versus Warhammer 40k battle pretty soon, especially since the Halo mod and the Star Wars mod are no longer compatible. At the very least, the Warhammer mod and the Star Wars mod are compatible, so we can still get some cross-universe battles going, but, you know, I'd really prefer to have Halo versus Star Wars, because those are my 2 favorites, but Warhammer will do in a pinch, I will say. And a lot of people do love Warhammer on the channel, so, you know, I'm just saying, maybe some people would like some crossovers, because obviously if you're subscribed to the channel here, you probably enjoy Star Wars, since my content is primarily Star Wars. So I don't think it's too far-fetched to do a Star Wars versus Warhammer. Even if you don't enjoy Warhammer, it'll still be fun to see the Star Wars troopers fighting it out, you know? Could be kind of cool. Yeah, I'm hip to it. Either way, the flanking forces over here are slowly but surely taking this city block. They're taking out droids in that sort of apartment building over that way. Once they emerge into the streets over here, though, they're going to be blasted by Count Dooku's forces, and already some of Count Dooku's forces are managing to get a few shots off at them from this center block, so this is going to be tough. Oh, we have one brave clone coming forward in the middle. He gets burned to death, but that was pretty brave, not going to lie. Gutsy, if I do say so myself. Oh, these guys never came forward. Guys, you're supposed to come on forward here. What the heck? Go, move it. All clone troopers were supposed to progress forward, so we're sending them forward. The right side really hasn't done anything in a number of minutes here. They're just sort of chilling. We'll squad them up again. There you go, buddies. Yeah, I think they're pretty fixated on this building. There might be a droid or two within it. Okay, let's see, we can actually check. Yeah, there's 2 droids in here, and I think they're worried about those 2, so they're not really progressing very much. Oh, there's like a lump of droids over here. These guys were supposed to be on free move mode. There we go. They must not have gotten the memo that they were supposed to be free move, but there you go. Now they are on free move, so we'll have a little bit of contest to the clones over here, and we'll see how these 2 forces interact with one another. That'll be kind of interesting. First few shots sort of getting fired here. Droids are on the assault over this way for the first time in the entirety of the battle. There was supposed to be a bunch of droids on free move mode. I think the majority of them were actually taken out early on by the TX-130Ts, and then these ones, for whatever reason, I must have forgotten to actually put on free move mode, so they just kind of hung back the entire time, which is okay, but now they are going to perform their duties here. A few of them have gone down, but there's still a few left alive. Let's see, over here, we do have the clones on the left flank actually attacking Dooku's positioning right here. Dooku's still sort of standing tall right now. He's actually fixated on the folks on the left instead of on the right, even though the right, I would say, is the immediate threat right now. A few of his droids have ended up going down here from the dudes on the right flank, but the real battle and assault for the clones over here has yet to really happen. These 2 sides, I think once they do get into a full-blown firefight, it'll be very, very tough for the clones. The battle has certainly slowed down within the city. Neither side really making too many moves here. I think it's a bit of a stalemate at the moment, and we'll have to see if that stalemate ends up actually breaking here. Who knows? Because sometimes the AI can be very, very cowardly and not do anything. I might have to propel the clones forward. Oh, no, we actually do have some movement over here. A little bit of fire from the droids. I don't think these clones are actually in range to fire back. It was just that one clone on the right over there. And that might be what's keeping these 2 sides from firing. The clones are just too far away for the droids to actually fire at them, and ditto for the clones. So the clones need to come forward in order to fire. But if they come forward, they'll be caught in a bad position. So it's just sort of leading to this stalemate right now where neither side is making much progress in the slightest. Look how Dooku's still chilling on his belly over here with his lightsaber, like, pierced through his hand. Buddy! What kind of a Sith Master does that? Maybe it's a training thing. If he feels the pain, he is a Sith Lord. I don't know. Fixer's still chilling over here. Gets a droid popper off. I'll probably kill that droid. Oh, it did! Yay! Bye-bye! So this free-roaming droid force is just about dead now. There's a couple left alive over here. The clones appear to be assaulting them from these buildings. Getting a few shots off. Maybe they'll cop the kill here. Nope, that guy died. Clones, come on! What is... Guys! You're supposed to be better than this! They're very inaccurate today. Oh man, the clones actually got kind of wiped by those droids within that building. Looks like they ended up killing one of the droids, but these 2, 3 actually, if we're being accurate, managed to really dice them up. Another one goes down, but there's still more left alive over there. The clones seem fixated over here too. There's more droids actually alive over this way that the clones never ended up dealing with. So they're going to have to take care of them at some point here. And there's one clone left alive on the bridge, who is now crossing forward. Dink, 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 dink. He comes to the barbed wire. He's just crawling around. Oh, he might be trying to join his clone brothers over that way. Where are you going, buddy? Now he's climbing up the stairs. He's worming his way around. Oh, he's getting the high ground. This guy's he's a boss, dude. Using pro Obi-Wan strats, getting the high ground right now. Is he gonna fire at those droids? Maybe he's just gonna be a scout or something, point out droid positions, who knows. More clone movement over here. They're getting diced by the droids over in the trenches, and they are not firing back. Fellas, what are you doing? Okay, well that was real sad. They did not manage to do anything, in fact. Pathetic. How could you do that? There's still one droid within this building, and I think it's causing the clones a lot of heartache right now. They are not loving that this droid is still alive right here. They really want him dead, for sure. Wow. There's also like a droid way over here that the clones never ended up dealing with. This guy's actually got 3 kills. He must have killed those guys over that way. And then there's a whole line of droids over this way, and of course the blockade over here. The clones are seriously down on numbers now. They have barely any troopers left alive. Oh, they're moving around a little bit over here. Not a ton. Oh, grenades getting tossed over this way. I guess a couple of 501st clones ended up deciding to push the droids over here, taking the initiative in their own hands, but dying out pretty steadily. Oh, that guy goes down. This guy ends up firing a little bit, but he also gets domed and goes down. All right, I think we should enact the final assault rule, which is kind of new to the channel. We invented it the other day in a battle where, essentially, if the final start of the battle gets real slow and nothing's really happening and the AI isn't able to really do anything, we take matters into our own hands and sort of do a final assault, a last whammy here, because it's clear the clones need that sort of push. So they are going to get a nice little pincer movement here out of this final assault, which is nice for them because, you know, they don't have to do a straight up frontal assault. So we have two sides attacking simultaneously in slow-mo, of course. That way they can both be commanded pretty equally. The clones do manage to kill that guy in the building over there. They're getting a bit slaughtered over this way. Still, some of them are fixated on this building. They need to turn and fight that way. Uh-oh, this lamppost falling. This actually could kill a ton of clones right now. Wait. Oh. It narrowly misses quite a number of clones here. Okay, nice. Because that could have killed quite a number of them. These clones, meanwhile, over this way, crawling forward a little bit. Not really firing at all. Come on, fellas. Fire! Oh, my goodness. Let's go into normal speed here for this final assault battle. Yeah, these guys just straight up crawling forward. Oh, they just now start to fire, but they are getting butchered up front here. Not the greatest thing ever. Okay. Well then, fellas, that guy gets domed as well. Oof. It's tough, but the left side over here does seem to have a bit more of a stable position. Ooh, they get hit hard by a rocket right there, blowing up one of their fellow troopers. Not a great thing to see. It's never a good thing when you see your fellow comrade get blown to smithereens in front of your very own eyes. That's a tough one to look at. That is a tough one to look at. I just have to say, the battle for the clone troopers in this entire series against Count Dooku's castle has been brutal. They lost the first battle, they won the second battle with extreme losses, they lost the third battle, and they're about to lose the fourth battle for sure. So things never really went very well for the 501st Legion in this entire thing. And it kind of makes sense. They are going up against, you know, the leader of the Separatists' massive army here, all alone. So it's a toughie. All right, final clone yeet here. We're gonna yeet them on in, or else this battle could last another 40 minutes of the AI derping around. So sometimes you gotta let them, you know, have a little bit of a push. You gotta push them into the battle a little bit more, even if it results in a slaughter. Because let's be honest, the clones were not winning this battle. After a while, I think once we hit like the 10-minute point in the video, it was pretty clear that the clones had taken too many losses and they were not strategically playing well enough. I think they had an opportunity to win when they ended up doing that awesome pincer movement, but then they didn't follow through enough, so it was kind of brutal. Either way, let's retreat the last few clones here, if they can make it. I mean, they're gonna have to run pretty fast here. Oh, keep going, guys. Keep going. Don't stop. Keep her going. All right, a few of those guys made it. Nice. Let's see if these three can make it. Okay, 2 clone commandos made it over this way. And these clones are going to have to run too. It's the amazing race. Go, guys, go. Oh, these two decide to stop and not go. Sev never even entered into the battlefield. He doesn't have a single kill. Well, that was rather cowardly of you, Sev, huh? Wow, well, those two are going to make it out too. So 4 501st Trooper survivors made it out of this battle alive. Perhaps they will go and retrieve the bodies of Mace Windu, Obi-Wan, and Kit Fisto and the other Delta Squad members, but pretty rough battle all around for the clone troopers. Dooku manages to hold out. He is still alive, and he will rebuild his castle and refortify it probably to the point where the clones are never able to attack it again. Either way, guys, thank you so much for watching this series. I really hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to comment down below if you did enjoy, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Be sure to click that subscribe button for more content, and hit the notification bell if you'd like to be alerted to whenever I live stream or upload. Thanks so much.